There is a gentle knocking that we all feel within our hearts from time to time. It's like a quiet call, a subtle whisper from a deeper part of ourselves. This is the voice of our higher purpose, inviting us to begin a profound journey of inner purification. It asks us to look at the parts of ourselves that we have hidden away, not with judgment, but with immense compassion. This journey is not about becoming someone new, but about remembering the magnificent being you have always been underneath all the layers of conditioning and life experiences. It's a return to innocence, a gentle unfolding of your true nature. This process of purification is like tending to a beautiful, secret garden inside of you. For a long time, it may have been neglected, with weeds of old fears and painful memories growing unchecked. The journey inward is the act of gently pulling out these weeds, one by one. It requires patience and a soft touch. You're not ripping them out angrily, but understanding why they grew there in the first place. Each weed represents an old wound, a pattern that no longer serves you. By tending to this inner garden, you create space for new life, for the beautiful flowers of your unique gifts to finally blossom in the light. The path of inner purification is not one of struggle, but of surrender. It's about allowing a higher force, a current of grace, to move through you and do the work. Your only task is to stay open and be willing to see what is shown to you. It is a journey from the head to the heart. The mind loves to analyze and control, but the heart understands the power of letting go. As you learn to trust this process, you will discover a strength you never knew you had. It is the strength that comes from vulnerability, the courage that comes from being truly honest with yourself. So, listen for that gentle knocking. Do not be afraid of it. It is the sound of your own soul calling you home. This call is a promise of deep healing and a profound sense of inner peace. It is an invitation to unlock the love that lies at the very core of your being. This love has the power to dissolve all suffering and to transform your entire life from the inside out. The journey may have its challenges, but it leads to the greatest reward of all, the freedom to be your authentic, radiant self in every moment of your life. The Venus sequence is a beautiful and profound map that guides you on this journey of inner purification. It's like a specific path woven through your personal gene keys profile, showing you the exact sequence of your karmic patterns, especially in the realm of your relationships. Think of it as a golden thread that leads you directly into the heart of your deepest wounds. It's not a map of a foreign land, but a map of your own inner world. It reveals the genetic patterns you inherited and the karmic stories you came into this life to resolve. The Venus sequence is your personal guide to opening your heart. This sequence is connected to the 7 sacred seals, which are energetic gateways within our spiritual DNA. For most of humanity, these seals have remained closed, blocking the flow of higher consciousness into our physical bodies. The Venus sequence is the key that unlocks these seals one by one. As you contemplate the gene keys in your Venus sequence, you begin a gentle but powerful process of inner alchemy. You're not forcing anything to open, you're simply bringing your gentle, sustained attention to these core aspects of your being. This loving awareness is what allows the seals to soften and release their ancient charge. The journey through the Venus sequence unfolds in a precise order, mirroring the natural way that we grow and evolve. It takes us back through our developmental stages, from before we were born, through childhood, and into adolescence. At each stage, it highlights a specific theme or wound that is common to all of us. By looking at these patterns through the lens of your own gene keys, the process becomes deeply personal. You see how these universal themes have played out in your own life and relationships, creating the very fabric of your personality and your recurring challenges. Working with this sequence is an act of profound self-love. It invites you to be a compassionate witness to your own story. Instead of blaming others or yourself for the pain in your life, you begin to see it all as part of a perfect cosmic design. You understand that your deepest wounds are also your greatest gifts in disguise. The Venus sequence does not promise to erase your past, but it offers something far more powerful: the ability to transform your relationship with your past. It shows you how to turn the lead of your suffering into the gold of your own awakened heart. At the heart of the Venus sequence lies the concept of the sacred wound. This is not just any pain or trauma, but the central wound that your soul chose to work with in this lifetime. It's a deep, primal pattern that often dictates the course of our lives, especially in our relationships. This wound is not a mistake. It is sacred because it contains the very seed of our higher purpose. It is the grit in the oyster that, through pressure and time, creates the pearl of our enlightenment. The Venus sequence guides us to find, understand, and ultimately embrace this core wound. Healing these old patterns and the karma associated with them is not an intellectual exercise. It happens in the body, in our emotional world, and in our daily lives. As you contemplate the gene keys of your Venus sequence, you will notice old memories and feelings rising to the surface. You might find yourself reacting to situations in old, familiar ways. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the healing is working. The process brings these unconscious patterns into the light of your awareness so that they can finally be seen, felt, and released with compassion. This unraveling of karma often manifests in our relationships. The people in our lives, especially our intimate partners, become mirrors for our deepest wounds. They trigger our core patterns so that we can see them more clearly. For example, if your core wound is around abandonment, you may find yourself repeatedly drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable. The Venus sequence helps you see that this is not a curse, but an opportunity. It is your soul's way of showing you where the healing needs to happen. By healing the wound inside yourself, you change the karmic pattern, and your relationships begin to transform naturally. Embracing your sacred wound is the key to unlocking your genius. Your deepest fear and your highest calling are two sides of the same coin. The very thing that you have been running from your whole life holds the key to your greatest fulfillment. For someone with a wound of shame, their purpose might be to become a beacon of authenticity and self-acceptance. For someone with a wound of rejection, their gift might be to create deep, inclusive communities. The Venus sequence shows us that our karma is not a life sentence, but a curriculum designed for our own awakening. The journey of opening the 7 sacred seals begins deep within the physical body. The first seal is connected to the first line in the gene keys system, which governs the theme of repression and its release into vitality. This seal is tied to our earliest developmental period, from the 2nd trimester in the womb to the age of 7. It holds the energetic imprint of our core wound stored deep within our cellular memory. When this seal is closed, we experience a feeling of being unsafe in the world, a deep-seated fear that causes our physical body to contract and hold tension. This can manifest as physical health issues or a general lack of energy and vitality. Opening the first seal is about learning to feel safe in your own skin. It's about reconnecting with the innate intelligence of your physical body. The healing begins when you bring a gentle, loving awareness to your physical sensations. You start to notice the subtle ways your body tenses up when you feel threatened or stressed. You learn to listen to its whispers before they become screams. Contemplating your first-line gene key in the Venus sequence helps you to understand the specific nature of your core fear. It could be a fear of failure, a fear of death, or a fear of life itself. As this seal begins to open, you will experience a profound shift in your physical well-being. The chronic tension held in your muscles and tissues begins to dissolve. You might feel waves of energy moving through you as old, stagnant emotions are released. This is the shadow of repression transforming into the gift of vitality. You no longer use your energy to suppress your fears, so that energy is liberated for living. You begin to trust your body's instincts and feel more grounded and present in your daily life. Simple activities like walking in nature or enjoying a meal become deeply nourishing experiences. The breakthrough moment for the first seal often comes as a deep sense of relaxation and presence. It is the feeling of finally landing in your body. Perhaps for the first time, you realize that you are safe, that you are held by life, and that your body is a sacred vessel, not a source of problems. This newfound physical embodiment becomes the foundation for all further healing. With the first seal open, you have the stability and the life force needed to continue the journey into the more subtle realms of your emotions and your mind. You have come home to your physical self. Once you have established a foundation of safety in your physical body, the Venus sequence guides you to the next two gateways, the second and third sacred seals. The second seal is linked to the second line and the emotional body. It governs the pattern of denial, which we learn in early childhood as a way to cope with overwhelming emotions. When this seal is closed, we cut ourselves off from our feelings, projecting them onto others. This leads to blame and a feeling of being a victim of circumstance. We deny our own emotional responses and therefore cannot take true responsibility for our lives. The third seal is connected to the third line and the mental body. Its shadow pattern is shame, a deeply ingrained belief that there is something fundamentally wrong with us. This pattern is often formed in our early years when our natural, spontaneous nature is met with disapproval or punishment. A closed third seal creates a mind that is constantly judging itself and others. It fills us with guilt and a sense of unworthiness, trapping us in cycles of self-sabotage and hiding our true selves from the world for fear of being seen as flawed. These two seals, denial and shame, work together to create a powerful prison for the human heart. Opening these seals is a delicate and courageous process. For the second seal, you must learn to own your emotional reactions. The Venus sequence helps you to see how the people who trigger you are simply showing you the emotions you have denied within yourself. Instead of blaming them, you turn inward and allow yourself to feel what is arising without judgment. For the third seal, the healing comes from humor and self-acceptance. You begin to see the absurdity of your mind's constant self-criticism. You learn to laugh at your own perceived flaws and embrace your humanity with a light heart. As the second seal opens, the shadow of denial transforms into the gift of ease. You no longer waste energy fighting your feelings, so you can move through life with a natural grace and flow. As the third seal opens, the shadow of shame blossoms into the gift of humor. You stop taking yourself so seriously and find joy in your own imperfections. A person healing these seals might notice they no longer get drawn into pointless arguments, or they can laugh when they make a simple mistake instead of berating themselves. They find a new lightness in their being as the heavy burdens of blame and shame begin to fall away. With the foundation laid and the emotional and mental bodies clearing, the journey leads us to the heart of the matter. The fourth sacred seal, linked to the fourth line, governs the astral body and our capacity for love. Its shadow is rejection, and it corresponds to the opening of the great heart chakra. This seal holds our deepest patterns around giving and receiving love. When it is closed, we live with a guarded heart, afraid of being hurt again. We might reject others before they can reject us, or we might unconsciously push away the very love we crave, creating a life of subtle loneliness. Following closely is the fifth sacred seal, connected to the fifth line and the auric body. This seal relates to our voice in the world and the shadow of guilt. This is not the personal guilt of the third seal, but a collective, ancestral guilt that we carry in our energy field. It is a deep-seated feeling of being responsible for the suffering of the world, which causes us to hold back our power and our truth. A closed fifth seal makes us afraid to speak up, to take the lead, or to share our unique gifts, because we unconsciously feel we do not have the right to be powerful or successful when others are suffering. The opening of the fourth seal is a profound revelation. It happens when we realize that the only love we have ever truly sought is our own. The healing comes from learning to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, with all our flaws and wounds. This self-love is what unlocks the heart. As you contemplate your fourth line gene key, you begin to treat yourself with the kindness and gentleness you may have always looked for from others. This is the gift of gentleness, which allows your heart to finally feel safe enough to open to another. As the fifth seal opens, the shadow of guilt is transformed into the gift of voice. You realize that hiding your power does not serve anyone. You understand that the greatest gift you can give the world is to be your fullest, most authentic self. You find the courage to speak your truth with both conviction and compassion. A person experiencing this might start a new creative project they had been putting off, or they might find themselves speaking up in meetings with a newfound clarity and confidence. They are no longer held back by a false sense of responsibility, but are liberated to lead and to serve from a place of genuine power and love. The culmination of the Venus sequence journey is the opening of the sixth sacred seal. This seal is unique. It is not about healing a specific wound from your past, but about the beautiful flowering that occurs once the other wounds have been tended to. Linked to the sixth line, it governs the very essence of your being, your core self. The shadow here is aloofness, which is not a wound, but a natural protective mechanism. It is the final veil that keeps you from fully embodying your highest potential. It can manifest as a subtle sense of being separate from life, an observer, rather than a full participant. The sixth line represents the archetypal pattern of the enlightened master or the healed human being. Before healing, this pattern can make one feel different, misunderstood, or detached from the normal world. It is the feeling of being on the outside looking in. This is the final barrier to true incarnation. The purpose of the Venus sequence is not to have you float away into some spiritual bliss, but to bring that bliss down into your body and into your everyday life. The opening of the sixth seal is the moment when the observer finally merges with the observed, and you become one with the flow of life. The healing of this final layer is not something you do. It is something that is done to you by grace. As the previous 5 seals open and release their karmic charge, a huge amount of energy is liberated within your system. This energy naturally rises and dissolves the final veil of aloofness. It is a process of deep surrender. You simply rest in the awareness you have cultivated throughout the journey and allow this final transformation to occur. It is the moment when your inner light, your core self, can no longer be contained and begins to shine out into the world. As this seal opens, the shadow of aloofness blossoms into the city of Radiance. This is not about being special, but about being utterly natural. Your very presence becomes a source of healing and peace for others. You live your life from a place of deep integrity and compassion, not because you are trying to, but because it is your nature. You have come full circle, from the initial wound of repression to the full flowering of your being. You are no longer living your life. Life is living you. This is the ultimate promise of the Venus sequence, to reveal the radiant divine being that you have always been. The 7th seal is not like the others. It is not connected to a specific line or a developmental stage. The 7th seal is the seal of grace itself. It represents the benevolent force of evolution that orchestrates this entire process of awakening. It is the divine intelligence that weaves through our DNA, calling us toward wholeness. The opening of the first 6 seals is what allows the 7th seal to flood our system. It is the culmination of the journey, where the human being becomes a pure vessel for the divine to move through. This is the mystery of embodiment. This downpouring of grace activates what are known as the 7 Siddhis. A Siddhi is a divine gift, a miraculous power that arises naturally from an open heart. Each of the 7 sacred seals, when fully opened, unlocks a corresponding Siddhi. From the first seal comes the Siddhi of immortality, living as eternal consciousness in a physical body. From the second, the Siddhi of omniscience, the ease of knowing. From the third, the Siddhi of omnipresence, the humorous realization of being everywhere at once. These are not powers to be grasped, but states of being that emerge spontaneously from a state of complete surrender. The remaining Siddhis continue this miraculous unfolding. The open 4th seal releases the Siddhi of omnipotence, which is the gentle power of love itself to heal all things. The 5th seal unlocks the Siddhi of divine will, where your personal voice becomes a pure channel for a higher purpose. The 6th seal, in its full radiance, reveals the Siddhi of illumination, the effortless shining of your true nature. Finally, the 7th seal itself bestows the Siddhi of grace, the ability to transmit this awakening to others simply through your presence. These are not supernatural tricks, but the natural attributes of a fully realized human being. The experience of this process in daily life is one of increasing magic and synchronicity. It is the feeling of being carried by a river of grace. Things fall into place effortlessly. The right people show up at the right time. You find solutions to problems in unexpected ways. This is not because you are controlling life, but because you have aligned yourself with its natural flow. The 7 cities are not about performing miracles, but about living in a miraculous state where every moment is perceived as a gift. It is a life lived in a state of continuous awe and gratitude for the profound mystery of existence. The journey through the Venus sequence and the opening of the 7 sacred seals is nothing less than a complete rebirth. It is a return to the state of innocence and wonder that is your birthright. The path may ask for your courage, your patience, and your willingness to face your deepest shadows, but the rewards are beyond measure. It is the promise of a life lived from an open heart, a life filled with love, freedom, and a deep sense of purpose. You do not become perfect, you become whole. And in that wholeness, you find a peace that the mind can never comprehend. This transformation touches every aspect of your life. Your relationships become sources of joy and growth instead of fields of conflict. You no longer seek love from others because you have found an endless well of it within yourself. This allows you to love others freely, without expectation or fear. Your work becomes an expression of your soul's unique gifts, and your prosperity flows from a place of service and authenticity. Your health improves as your body releases the armor of old trauma and rediscovers its natural vitality and intelligence. Your entire perception of reality shifts from struggle to grace. Remember that this journey is not a race. It is a gentle, gradual unfolding that happens at its own perfect pace. Each insight, each emotional release, each moment of breakthrough is a victory. There will be times when it feels challenging, when the old patterns seem strong. In these moments, remember to be gentle with yourself. Remember that the pain you are feeling is simply an old energy leaving your system for good. Hold it with compassion, breathe into it, and allow the power of grace to do its loving work. Trust the process, for it is guided by a wisdom far greater than your own. Ultimately, the promise of the Venus sequence is the promise of your own divinity, embodied here on Earth. It is the end of the search for something outside of yourself. It is the realization that everything you've ever longed for, love, peace, freedom, and purpose, has been waiting patiently inside your own heart all along, waiting for you to turn the key, waiting for you to come home. This is the most sacred journey a human being can take, and it is available to every single one of us. It begins with a single gentle step inward.